Sweet Revenge begins by showing Goo Hee, an ordinary girl who has just graduated from middle school and is about to start a new life as a high school student. She is not a pretty and popular girl, and her grades at school are not very good. That's why her mother often compares Goo Hee with her older brother, Goo Jun, because he is very handsome and smart. Even so, Goo Hee has a boyfriend named Jung Woo, who is her first love. However, Goo Hee and Jung Woo are now in different schools, so their relationship becomes slightly strained. Goo Hee's parents own a fried chicken restaurant, where one of their loyal customers is an idol from the boy group Astro named Cha Eun Woo, who turns out to be Goo Jun's best friend. The next day, Goo Hee will start her first day as a high school student. However, before arriving at her school, Goo Hee had some misfortunes, such as forgetting to wear her high school uniform, so she had to hurry back to her house to change clothes. It didn't stop there. Goo Hee lacked the money to pay the bus fare, so she couldn't help but borrow money from the boy who wore the same school uniform. After finally arriving at school, Goo Hee immediately realizes that her misfortune isn't over yet when she finds out that she's in the same class with Cha Eun, her middle school classmate who often ignores her. Cha Eun is a beautiful and popular girl who always looks down on her. Goo Hee then gets acquainted with a girl named Jung Duk Hee, who is a big fan of the boy group Astro and idolizes Cha Eun Woo. When she finds out that Eun Woo often comes to the diner owned by Goo Hee's family, Duk Hee immediately considers Goo Hee as her best friend. Not long after, a young man named Ji Hoon entered Goo Hee's class, and all the students seemed to admire him. However, Goo Hee notices that Ji Hoon was the one who helped her early in the morning when they boarded the bus together. On her way home from school, Cha Eun asks Goo Hee to do her duty of cleaning. Since Goo Hee feels bad for refusing Cha Eun's request, she agrees. That night, Goo Hee tries to contact her boyfriend, but she's rejected. Jung Woo doesn't even read her messages and instead changes his profile picture, making Goo Hee suspicious. The next day, Goo Hee asks Duk Hee to spy on her boyfriend in exchange for Cha Eun Woo's autograph. She immediately agreed to Goo Hee's request. Long story short, they finally meet Goo Hee's boyfriend, Jung Woo, who turns out to be having an affair. In front of his new girlfriend, Jung Woo even insults Goo Hee as his stalker and demeans her. Goo Hee immediately felt her heart shattered into pieces, and she could only burst into tears after being dumped by Jung Woo. Unbeknownst to them, Ji Hoon saw the incident from a distance and seemed to sympathize with Goo Hee. After being dumped by her boyfriend, Goo Hee feels frustrated and does not desire to do anything. But then, she gets a mysterious message on her phone about Revenge Note, a smartphone app that aims to take revenge on the person whose name is written on the app. Because she was very hurt by Jung Woo, who turned out to only take advantage of her, Goo Hee then entered Jung Woo's name in the Revenge Note application. At the same time, Jung Woo gets a mysterious message that he is the target of someone's revenge. After that, he begins to experience various misfortunes, which ultimately embarrass him until it becomes viral on social media. That night, Goo Hee gets a mysterious message saying her revenge has been accomplished. She looks very surprised when she finds out that Revenge Note actually took her revenge on Jung Woo. She wonders who has made the application, because whoever it is, he must know very well about her life. A few days later, Goo Hee's father gets involved in an incident with a group of delinquent students who call themselves zombies. They intend to take revenge on Goo Hee's father because he had reported them to security officers when they were caught bullying someone in the park. Since zombies are senior students in her school, Goo Hee is immediately the target of bullying. On the other hand, Ji Hoon tries to help Goo Hee when she is being bullied by the delinquent students. However, she asks him not to interfere because she doesn't want him to get hurt if he gets involved with the delinquent students. Unable to stand being bullied constantly, especially after the zombies deliberately caused her family's fried chicken shop to be threatened with bankruptcy by spreading false news, Goo Hee was forced to write their names on the Revenge Note application, hoping that all the suffering experienced by her family ended. At the same time, the leader of zombies gets a mysterious message on his phone that they will be the target of revenge. After that, the zombies experienced various misfortunes that led to their arrest for all their crimes. They even admit that they were the ones who beat Goo Hee's father in the park and spread fake news about his restaurant. After that, the situation slowly began to improve because of Eun Woo, who often promoted Goo Hee's family's fried chicken shop on all his social media accounts, and Ji Hoon, who helped Goo Hee when she was bullied by zombies. Because Ji Hoon helped her many times, Goo Hee wonders why he is so kind and considerate to her. That's why, as time passes, Goo Hee feels her heart beating fast when she's close to Ji Hoon. It seems like she's already fallen in love with him. However, she chooses to harbor her feelings for him because he is very popular at school. One day, Goo Hee accidentally catches a student named Yi, her classmate, being harassed by one of their teachers, Mr. Lee. Goo Hee doesn't dare to report the incident to the school or the police for fear that Yi will suffer even more because the hierarchy will favor Mr. Lee. Because of this, Goo Hee tries to defend Yi when everyone accuses her of being the one who flirted with Mr. Lee and devises a plan to uncover Mr. Lee's lewd deeds. With the help of Duk Hee, Goo Hee uncovered the abuse by Mr. Lee against Yi and got him fired from the school. After the incident, Yi looks relieved and happy and thanks Goo Hee because she defended her when everyone said bad things about herself. On the other hand, Eun Woo and his agency are facing difficulties because a candid photo of Eun Woo hugging a woman spread on social media and immediately became a trending topic. After all, the photo caption cornered him. In fact, his group was affected, so they had to go on hiatus for a while. Knowing that she's the woman in the picture, Goo Hee feels very sorry for Eun Woo and is determined to help him. Meanwhile, Duk Hee, a big fan of Eun Woo, does not necessarily stay silent and does everything possible to prove that he is not what netizens are talking about on social media. Because of her hard work and dedication to Astro and Cha Eun Woo, Duk Hee even fell victim to being kidnapped by people who had spread false news about Eun Woo. Luckily, Ji Hoon and his best friend, Kang Min, saved Duk Hee in time and catch the kidnapper and his henchmen. After that incident, Duk Hee had the opportunity to meet Eun Woo and Astro backstage, which Goo Hee had planned as an expression of gratitude because she had helped Eun Woo. One day, Goo Hee had to return to school late at night because she missed her homework in class. When she was about to enter the classroom, Goo Hee was surprised by the presence of Ga Eun alone with a student. Goo Hee couldn't see the boy's face because the classroom wasn't very bright. However, she remembered the shoes he was wearing. The next day, Ga Eun became the object of everyone's gossip because her inappropriate picture was spread on social media. Ga Eun, who was once a popular girl at school, suddenly became ostracized by many people, even by her clique. Her seniors, who used to make Ga Eun their clique, intimidated her physically and mentally, so she decided to lock herself up at home. On the other hand, Goo Hee seems to sympathize with Ga Eun, even though she often bullies her. Goo Hee thinks that the young man who was with Ga Eun last night was the one who had uploaded the indecent photo. Seeing Ga Eun being bullied like that, Goo Hee is determined to find out what really happened and take revenge on the person who framed Ga Eun. Not long after, Goo Hee found a student wearing the shoes, and coincidentally he was the only person with these expensive shoes. The young man is Ah Jun, the son of a well-respected member of the parliament. After Goo Hee entered Ah Jun's name in the revenge note application, he was immediately rewarded for his actions that had cornered Ga Eun. On the other hand, Ga Eun seems grateful to Goo Hee in her own way because she is the only person who cares about her when everyone else stays away from her. After that, Ga Eun finally returns to school and she is no longer ostracized by her friends because of Goo Hee and Duk Hee, who deleted all bad posts about her inappropriate picture on social media. Although they can't be said to be close friends, Goo Hee and Ga Eun's relationship is now improving, as is Goo Hee's relationship with Ji Hoon, which is getting closer. In fact, Ji Hoon is more and more openly showing that he really cares about Goo Hee, which makes one of the students in Goo Hee's class very jealous and asks her to stay away from him. Goo Hee immediately becomes the target of bullying by the student and her clique. However, she doesn't necessarily stand still and defends herself. She reveals to them that she likes Ji Hoon, although he may never be interested in her because she realizes she's ugly. But then, Ji Hoon walks up to Goo Hee and tells her that he's very interested in her. Since then, they have decided to date. On their first date, Ji Hoon takes Goo Hee to visit many places and do fun things. While looking through something at the jewelry store, Goo Hee seems attracted to a necklace with a star-shaped pendant that is very beautiful but expensive. Feeling bad for Ji Hoon, Goo Hee lies by saying she's not interested in the necklace. After that, Goo Hee took Ji Hoon to meet Cha Eun Woo, who was doing a photo shoot. When they were talking with Duk Hee and Kang Min, while waiting for Eun Woo, a female staff approached Ji Hoon and asked him to be a model in the photo shoot. At first, Ji Hoon refuses the woman's offer, but since they're short of people and promises to pay him a fair amount of money, he becomes interested. Although not as handsome as Eun Woo, Ji Hoon can amaze people with his beautiful face. After the photo shoot, Ji Hoon suddenly became very famous and loved by the girls. Even female students from other schools are willing to jostle in front of the school gates just to see him. One of the most popular girls at school, Yu Ra, becomes very interested in Ji Hoon and tries to get close to him. Although she is very beautiful, rich, and his senior, Ji Hoon, openly rejects Yoo-ra, even calling her ugly and having a bad personality. Yoo-ra, who can't accept Ji Hoon's rejection, then devises a plan to bring down his popularity by spreading lies and trapping him in a situation that could land him in prison. Knowing that Yoo-ra is the mastermind behind all of Ji Hoon's troubles, Goo Hee goes to her and asks her to stop bothering Ji Hoon. But she instead tells Goo Hee to break up with him. Goo Hee, annoyed, then decides to use the revenge note application against Yoo-ra. But Yoo-ra destroys her phone instead. Yoo-ra, who seems not satisfied with intimidating Goo Hee, then badmouths her family's fried chicken shop and insults her, where they then get into an argument involving their mothers. Long story short, because of the help of Duk Hee, Kang Min, and several people who have a grudge against Yoo-ra and her family, Ji Hoon and Goo Hee overcame all these problems, even without the help of revenge note. After that, on Goo Hee's birthday, Ji Hoon presented a necklace with a star-shaped pendulum that they both saw on their first date. Ji Hoon reveals that he accepted the offer to be a model at that time because he wanted to buy the necklace for Goo Hee as her birthday present. She seems very happy about Ji Hoon's gift because he is so considerate of her. After successfully solving several problems without the help of revenge note, Goo Hee then deleted the application from her phone, thanked whoever had made the application, and avenged those persecuted. She hopes that someone else will use the revenge note app for good, not for reckless revenge. The moral that can be learned from this movie is, revenge may not be a commendable act. However, we must rise up when persecuted because self-defense and survival are very important. In this movie, we are shown that revenge is not bad if it is right on target and does not sacrifice innocent people.